It's Rachel the Love Witch here, and without eyebrows this time. I feel like you can still see like a faint kind of outline of them. I'm working on that. I'm not sure if it's just the way my hairs go or what, but it still looks like I sometimes have a very faint brow depending on the light. But anyway, yes, that's me. I'm here and I'm without eyebrows. It's just in the mood for it. But I'm not here to talk about my eyebrows or lack thereof. I'm here to talk about, oh my god, I just forgot the name of it. The Dreamingway Tarot. Oh, I'm not correcting myself further down the line. I hadn't even thought about what the actual name was. I was just looking at it on my tray and just loving this backing, That's all I can really think about at the moment. Yeah, so I got this recently. I forgot that I bought it actually. It's one of those things where I had like 5 things in my book depository cart and I was like, I want them all. I was looking at it and I was like, I can't justify all of them right now. Like I can, but you know, like gotta be a little bit more financially smart, maybe but like business cards or something instead of 5 tarot decks right now. Practical side might win out. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just get one, you know, like it's some of these ones, these mass-produced kind of ones can be $60, well, more like 40 or 50, but sometimes they're a bit less, and I feel like this one was only like 30 or 40, and I was like, maybe just get one that I've been pining over for a while, and then forgot about it, because sometimes, as you know, it takes like 10 working days, whatever, to actually, before it gets like shipped out or anything. So I got a notification. I was like, what's that? What is that coming to me? I don't remember. And then I remembered, and oh, I have been sleeping with this beside my bed. I had a nap today. I got up, did a bit of work. It's towards the end of the year and I'm feeling it, and I was just knackered and went, you know what, I'm just going to rest. And I'm glad I did, because now I could put it on my face and do all of this. And I have it in this bag that's just like perfect. I think I got this from Gitana Crystals. Yeah, they send out like recycled sari bags, which I love. Oh my god, that alone just makes them the best. So they've given me some beautiful tarot bags actually. I don't think I'd seen the backing, or I just forgot about it, and I'm into it. Just got such strong like caterpillar vibes to me, which is perfect because this has got a really beautiful young feeling. I'm just obsessed, and I will take you all through it in a moment, but I've just been sleeping with it beside my bed, taking it with me everywhere, wanting to kind of like get like a belt that has like bags, you know, those like you see those like Renaissance fair kind of like, I mean we don't have them here, but like American style Renaissance fair, or do we? I don't know. Well, I haven't been to any. Like leather, well, I would get like a faux leather, but like leather, like dark brown leather belts that have all these like pockets and like little satchels off them. I want to be one of those dags who like has their like pagan pouch. That sounds sinister. Touch my pagan pouch. And I have some crystals, and I have like a deck. Maybe I have to get one of my mini ones, depending. But you know, if it was like an actual sturdy belt, you could probably have something this heavy in it and it not like pull down weirdly on one side. If I just had this like tucked into a belt, it might kind of pull on it differently. But I want to be one of those people who has like some crystals, because I'm like moving all over the house and going from room to room as I like find different things that I need to use on a spell. I'm like, I need that crystal, and I don't have pockets. Like most of the things I have just don't have pockets. And I'm like, I just want to keep crystals and pieces that I want with me like throughout the day. And I think this is a deck that I think I would really like to have in like a pagan pouch, and just like have it with me. I just want it with me. So what can I say? I hope you're enjoying this background. I think it gives you a really different perspective on what this space kind of looks like. I haven't filmed from this sort of direction before, but I'm enjoying it. You can see the green. Maybe the little kitty cats will turn up at some point. And, oh no! Don't show your butt. I'm gonna go grab the box for this so that I can actually find you the info, because I've left it in a different room. So just because I feel like I should be telling you who made it and all that. So by Rome Choi Chai, sorry, butchered the name probably, and US Game Systems. Never like to see the word game on my tarot deck, but that's what they do. So it comes in this just very standard little box. It's probably part of the reason why it's such a reasonable price. Some other more like luxurious feeling kind of decks have a whole more convoluted situation. Get a little bit about the author. Haven't really read it. About the artist, the author. You get this little card as well, which is really cute. Oh, it's nice. The chameleon's holding the full card, which says magical under there. Get a little white book. I haven't looked at, but I never really get rid of them because I feel like, you know, there's an introduction, there's some info about it, which I like. Oh, cool. There's something about this, I think the artists, the creators' relationship to Korea. I think they may have, yeah, enter Seoul University. Yeah, cool. So that's cool. That's their background or where they were educated. I haven't read much about them. I've just been keen. I've just been holding it, enjoying the vibe. I haven't really looked at all the info. I like to kind of keep it for that, but I don't always kind of look that much into it. But haven't got them in order because I'm trying to get them out of order so that I can actually use them properly. But I'll just take you through as they come, because as you'll see, this has got a really lovely young kind of feeling. Oh, I love it, the Hermit turned up so soon. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, the raggedy edges. I love the link to the star card here, with like the star shape in the lantern. Makes me think of, I guess, the star card, you know, actual hope, faith. Oh, I love the bandages on his arms too. It just has something. This is a really interesting Wheel of Fortune. Oh yeah, so when I saw this, I was like, no. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this world card. I've never seen anything quite like it. I was like, I don't care for it. And then I was like, hang on. Like, this makes me think of contentment and completion because of his age. And because, I mean, look at him. He's happy. He's gotten everything he wants. He's, like, pleasantly rotund, which means that he's, like, he's got it all. He's got a pipe. He's been reading something that looks quite young. Something that makes me think of, like, the other cards. Ooh. There's a light, the world. I can't read it, but there's an angel and there's like a lion and a cow. There's still something young in there, so it's not about getting stodgy. It's about, yeah, I just thought that was a really interesting interpretation of the world, and I actually was like, oh no, I get it. Six of Cups, beautiful. I think this really shows the kind of the whimsy. I don't want to use the word quirky because I think it's so overused and it can sort of like unfortunately trivialize things, but this, yeah, I think it really encapsulates some of the sweetness without being syrupy. It's got this interesting, it does have an edge to it that you might not always see in each card or expect, but it's there. So of course it does follow the Rider-Waite-Smith structure and like scenic depictions quite, you know, fairly closely. There's some that are like pretty much exactly the same, and there are some that kind of take the meanings in different direction, like the world. That's a lovely one. Two of Cups, really nice. I love how androgynous these figures are. That's another reason why I really like this, and I would kind of recommend this. As I've been thinking about doing a video about like more queer friendly decks and being like, do I have any in my collection? I mean, I can think of some that I really think probably aren't, but thinking about like which are is a little bit trickier for me, and just thinking, oh, do I have any in my collection, or could I, you know, source some and kind of talk about them? But this is one that really made me think this is a place to start, because I really enjoy the more soft androgynous feel. I think this is going to be a deck that I'm going to be able to do love readings with really well, because you've got to have a certain, I mean, isn't that gorgeous? Can we just say the green with that spotted pattern? I love the spots. I love the patterns and textures. I think they're really unusual. Nice. I like the sense of burden in this one. Like going to pick up one more thing that maybe you shouldn't. Beautiful use of greens and teals in this. Without being like seaside. Without being too like seaside kitschy. And the boots, oh my god, like the feet and the shoes in this deck, it's just, they're wonderful. I'll show you the next one. You can see the Knight of Wands has these like fantastically large like shoes. A lot of them do. What's a better word than quirky for this? I'll work on that. Some of them look more contemplative and like a wee bit like troubled than I would expect, but I think maybe that's a nice, it might be unintended, or just might be a nice contrast to how emotionally bright this deck can feel. I really like this. The symbology of like the looking in different directions, I think, is really spot on. Slightly less Western looking like faces, which is great. Really great. Oh, I saw today, just looking around at different decks, a melanated version of the Rider-Waite-Smith. The text of that cup is beautiful, and I was like, that's fantastic. Yes, I love this. Just have a sip of my coffee in my cauldron. It looked really good. There was quite a spectrum of shades. That sounds like skin tones is what I mean. Ooh. So I'd really like to get that. I think it looks interesting. It's not exactly the same. It's not like they just went in paint and like went brown. You know, like it's got its own feel, even though it's very, very, very close to the Rider-Waite-Smith, more so than this. But I was like, I would love to have that. It looks really cool. I'd love to know its spirit. This one, oh, Kat, I know you'll watch this, and when I think of you when I see this. The colors, the ocean, the way it can, like, it's almost like overwhelming him. Ah, you Pisces, you. I don't know. I just, you know, like, that just makes me think so many things. Yeah, I think that's such great symbology, because that's something that that I do really think of with the King of Cups, the way he has like so much water around him, and that can be part of the issue of this sort of archetype, is that he can sometimes not be very good at dealing with his feelings and suppressing them and keeping them to himself, because he feels like they're going to overwhelm him. I think you can really see that with this ocean, which is not what I'm thinking of in terms of you, Kat, but just I really like how this, it hints at like the calmness and the tempestuousness of the ocean, and that makes me always think of you, because I always think of you when I see the ocean. Oh, lovely. Really interesting hats too. Really interesting outfits. Like they're not strictly from a particular era, like they're a real mix-up. But it's not fantasy, it's not historical, it's a real mix. I love it. So good. So direct, beautiful. I love the trees in the background too. I think winter is associated with the swords. Forgive me if I'm incorrect about that, but it would make sense, winter, autumn, because of the trees being bare. So I think that's why there's quite a few trees in the background. Love like the blue on the face. quite a few of the characters have that. When there's a associated kind of sadness in all of the cards. And I don't know if that's like the, you know, is the intended link, but I see it there. The background pattern on this is phenomenal. Isn't it just divine? And there's green. Oh my god, the color use. It's revived my love for green. Oh yeah, Four of Swords again. You can see the strong use of trees back there. So good, so good. I connect with this. Yeah, this really, it's very direct kind of pictorial understanding of what I guess we understand or expect from the Rider-Waite-Smith kind of system, which I appreciate. Sorry, my phone just cut out. It is sort of like in some ways what we sort of expect from the Rider-Waite-Smith system, which I appreciate because, it just helps jog the memory. There will be a time when I think I'll become, isn't this stunning, more intrigued by decks that I think depart from this system a bit, but at the moment I'm into it. Oh, love it. And because like she or he is in the snow, it brings forth the feeling about like the meditative kind of possibilities in this card and in like the place that she's in. So I really like how they've brought that forward by changing up how they've done it. So good. Yeah. Fabulous outfits too. Fabulous outfits. Love the gumboots. Oh, and this is like the blue. A little bit of like blue under the eyes. Again, interesting. Really, really love it, and just I'm wondering about it. Yeah, there's some on the cheeks of the Hanged Man, which I really like. They're very androgynous with like the corset, the more we would assume like feminine kind of boots, but still they've got like an androgynous vibe to me. Well, a lot of these characters do. It's a different kind of feminine representation that does turn up. Death. I'm always like on the lookout for like, oh, how do they represent the Hermit, the Star, Death, Temperance. Beautiful, beautiful. Very similar to the Star. Very, very similar to the Star in this. Oh, really, really interesting Devil. Really interesting. It's got a more like childlike feeling with the actual representation of the Devil and the characters. Trying to get it to focus on the card and not on my face, but we're struggling with that. I could just sit here and stare at this and unpack it for ages. Oh, beautiful. Nothing more is needed with the Tower, just an exquisitely detailed line drawing. Oh, nothing else is needed. Oh, Ten of Swords. I'm always very interested to see how a deck represents the Ten of Swords. And yeah. So is Cat, so I know you'll be interested to see this one. Just thinking about another deck which has an incredible representation. Oh, that like the little kind of dagger for the Page of Swords, I really like that. It's like it really goes with the less developed like nature of this archetype. In it, I feel like there's a sense of progression over the court cards, but also they kind of are what they are. So I feel like there's a narrative of developing and changing, but in another way they just are where they are. Like they are who they are, and they have you know, the Page has these amazing qualities that change as you kind of, some of the spontaneity and creativity and freedom of like inhabiting this energy can be lost. Like if you feel like, oh, I'm in more of like a Queen of Cups or King of Cups kind of energy, some of that spontaneity can kind of go. So it's not just a linear progression. Oh, yeah. Really, I think this artist uses, hey Lily, the use of white really, really well. Really well. There's a lot of very like minimal decks that have a lot of grey and white that don't really appeal to me. I like things to be a bit more ornate most of the time, but yeah, this use of white is not just a blankness. Yeah, the trees in the background, beautiful. Make me think of birch. Okay, the Fool card. Oh, I'm so glad they used it on the deck. Like on the box, I mean. They did, didn't they? Yeah, it's on the back. Didn't show you all that, but that's how it looks. Beautiful box. Oh, look at those pantaloons and that amazing like cowl. Oh, so good. So I really like the use of red. It's got traditional associations that are really good. Oh, and they've still got the little white flower down the bottom. That's great. I get why the backing is green because, oh my god, the use of green. The star, very similar to, this version's very similar to Temperance in this deck. Interesting, she's got more, this like bump here looks kind of like maybe like a pregnancy bump, so there's more of like a mothering aspect. There's actually a lot of very intense like kind of mothering or like parental kind of figures and vibes in places I wouldn't always expect. Like the queens, I think, pretty much always have a child with her, which is interesting. I'm not against it. It's not really how I always see them, but I think it's maybe how this artist and the creator, that's how they see those cards. They're bringing that element forward. Or sometimes they're bringing something new into it. Oh, so good. Fantastic outfit. God. So good. Love the little like buildings and houses in the background. Oh, this one's really good. That little like modern-esque like doorbell. Or maybe it's a lock, but the fact that it looks kind of like modern I find really interesting, a little bit harrowing. It's like, oh, but there are a few like modern elements, just a few, like the shopping bags here. Such an interesting hybrid. It's like this is a different time. Maybe in like the way that steampunk is like the past, but sort of in a different realm, like where there's a real mix going on. So good. I really like how this emphasizes the hierarchy that goes on in this card. There's a sense of generosity and giving, but there's also a very strong hierarchy here, so dual messages. I don't think I described what steampunk is very well, but that's okay. You can look it up and the pictures will inform me far better than the way that I can describe it right now. Oh, those shoes, they're so good. Okay, that texture, that pattern on the dress is just absolutely phenomenal. Oh, I love it. When do you ever see that? There's a little bit of disharmony in this one, which is interesting. They don't look totally content to me, which I find really fascinating. That feels like a bit unique. Perfect, just... yeah, so good. Knight of Pentacles has fantastic boots. It's orange boots. Oh. Yeah, so Queen of Pentacles. It's got like the baby there with the very like grape-like pattern back here, which you see in some of the other Pentacles cards. Oh, and the King of Pentacles has the most fantastic kind of dress going on here, medieval garb. Oh, I want a dress with that pattern on it. Simple, gorgeous. Oh. Let's get right up into this one. Like this. A little bit of like, almost like magic realism brought in. The way in which this are like fields, but like they're upside down, mimicking like the shape of the world. Makes me think of like their perspectives being changed, projections into the future, just really good. The Four of Wands. It's come up a lot in recent readings for clients, and it's really interesting that they have just they've taken the like lingering more background message for me about possibilities of marriage, there being like a celebration coming up, or you literally, like marriage could be a possibility. They've brought it right to the front. For me, they've brought it right to the front, which is an interesting choice. Oh, yeah, they've got some grapes in there and some white flowers and red flowers, which interesting mix. Little nod to some of the other suits in there. This is a very, very young kind of energy of the Five of Wands. It's got more of like a bullying vibe than, or like, yeah, an argument than maybe the more like full-on vibes of like big kind of, I don't know, workplace conflict kind of feeling that the Five of Wands can have in other iterations. So good. Love the backgrounds, love the use of green, the checks. Man, this artist, what's her name? She has an incredible grasp of colour and texture. The artist is Quan Sheena. I hope I pronounced that right. These two together, wonderful. So impressed. Speaking of the Magician, really interesting that they have their hands in their pockets. I think they usually got like one hand up, one hand down. Yeah. Interesting choice. I wonder if there's anything in the booklet about that. This background texture. Oh my god. It's not grapes. It's like, it feels a little bit like oak, but I'm not sure. I don't think it is. The leaves look a little bit too big. Let's get that to focus. Oh, amazing. All the elements being represented. Incredible, incredible outfit and placement of all the different elements. So good. High Priestess, so good. So good. More adolescent feel. She literally looks sort of younger. Look at the eyes of the barnacles on the moon. I only just noticed that. Again, another one that has a really beautiful floral leaf-like texture in the background. Look at those shoes. I want them. Oh. Okay. Like they put like a check, which makes me think of like gingham on the Empress. I just love, because I just really, really associate that with like mothers, like very maybe more like pure. I mean, like, I was thinking the word like Christian mothers, maybe my own mother when she was younger, but pure is not the right word. Light-hearted, innocent type of mothers who have less of like the dark mother kind of vibe, but the crown with the love heart, the link to Demeter. So good. I love how peaceful she looks too. Absolutely beautiful. A quiet, dignified confidence there. Though I think the Empress can be certainly far more rowdy. But this makes so much sense for this deck. It doesn't have like rowdy, sensual energies in it. Yeah. It's more reserved. Speaking of, a very contemplative Emperor with his fantastic plaid kind of robes. Oh, beautiful. That's just wonderful. Hierophant. Or Hierophant. Yeah, got very Pope vibes. But I love the way there's keys and there's trees in the background. So it's not as like, he's quiet. like a lot of these characters, he's kind of quiet and more unassuming. I don't find him as like full-on bombastic and powerful as other ones are, which very much feel popish. I mean, I didn't even, I've looked over this quite a few times and I didn't even notice the hat till now. It sort of blends, and I really just noticed his like dark, more pagan cloak. So I'm okay with that depiction. Oh, okay, this one has like such queer vibes to me. You've got like these like really sweetly kind of like younger kind of lovers, and this, you know, this Cupid-esque kind of character who's got like such a bisexual haircut and like an outfit, who's like, and they're holding like her hands. Probably very like not the intended reading, but I don't care. This has got like, oh, the lovers can maybe be more than two, and maybe they're not always het. I see it, and that means it's there. Let me know what you think. Oh, sometimes just crave more queer representation. That, like, particularly outside of the, like, this is a gay deck kind of thing. Love those, but sometimes it's like, can we just have a deck that just has queer people in it, in amongst it, without it being like, it's a queer deck? Sometimes it's, it's like, does it have to be shouted? Sometimes yes, but sometimes I would just like queers in decks to just be normal and not to be like, a thing, from just sort of arrive and it's like, oh yeah, cool, they're there. Chariot, beautiful. I'm really intrigued when I see water as well, in some of these cards when I wasn't expecting it to. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna think about this. Like, what are they wanting me to feel or think, sort of symbolically? Just gorgeous. And you've got the little everlasting, the infinity sign above the head too, and a very chuffed, happy looking lion. Oh, so good. Oh, my leg's going to sleep. Just gotta put that down. Oh god. So that's a run through. Sorry if you can hear my neighbours. It feels like everyone's on holiday. I mean, I have plenty of work to do, but I need to film this. And I have plenty to be getting on with, but I can feel the holidays creeping into my bones. It's warm. I have my fan on. I don't have like any socks on. I feel the holidays upon me. And I guess the point of bringing that up is it feels like the holidays are all around me too, because I can hear the kids yelling all the time because they're living their life and they're in the backyard. But yeah. Oh, I love it. What else can I say about this? I'm in love with the colors, with the textures. So I hope you enjoyed having a look through this with me. Oh, this color. I really see myself using this for love readings, because you've got to have a certain amount of faith and youthfulness in your heart to do love, to take the risk. But we'll see. It also feels like it just will be a fantastic all-rounder as well. But we'll see. I'll let you know how I go with this and how it all feels. But it's going to be so good for love readings. I would use this with people, like, no matter what their age. I feel like this does not make me think, oh, I have to use this on young people. Not at all. I think it's kind of like the Fool, you know, like it's an energy that, Lily, that it's an, oh no, don't show your butt. I don't want to see that. It's an energy that we can all have in our lives and hopefully do. So I think this will have a really positive youthfulness to kind of bring to any subject matter. And this has really re-inspired my love for green. Lily, I just have to move these little things I've got placed in odd places to set up my camera. You want love. Well, you can have love. It's what it's like when you have kids. It's just hard to focus because they're like, love me, love me. Do you like this one, Lily? No, that's the Tower. And the Ten of Swords. What card for you? Page of Swords. Actually, yeah, no, I feel like the Page of Cups. I feel like this deck has like Page of Cups kind of vibes all over. It's got a quirkiness, it's got a youthful heart, a real creativity to it, but also there's a lovely kind of quietness to it as well, and to its energy that's really not moody, just maybe more bookish or slightly more somber in the way introverts can be. But yeah, I've been keen on it for quite a while, and this has stolen my heart. This is just my favourite right now, and I think will be for quite a long time. And I think a really easy deck to read with because of the way it follows with the Rider-Waite-Smith quite closely, and the different things that it kind of, but it's got some interest. It's not just like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I expect. Like, it has elements to it that are more like the world, which I'm like, what's that? That's not what I'm kind of like expecting. And it makes me think. It makes me think, oh, there's water in the background of that card, but it's like a wands, it's like a wands card. Like, what's going on there? What does it sort of want me to think about and to kind of take into account because of that? And there are some decks that just have like their throw is just water everywhere in every single card, and I'm like, I don't know why this is happening. But it's not that level of like confusion, it's more like intrigue. Lily is chomping on something from the spell that is sitting here. What are you eating? It's like roses and chamomile and stuff in there. I'm going to have to keep an eye on them. Don't want them eating stray things. But anyway, Lily has contributed to this time, and that is lovely. So yeah, that is the Dreamingway. I don't think I should probably prattle on too much more about this. Hope you enjoyed seeing all the cards, seeing what it's like. I got this on Book Depository. Don't think it was very much. Do recommend if this kind of style appeals to you. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so it's lovely to be back. I've been doing a lot of stuff, just a lot of spells, a lot of other things, and have not had, pardon me, really the energy to be doing videos, but it's really nice when I do. So lovely to be back and to be showing you things I'm obsessed with. So yeah, until next time, see you later. Bye.